What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are at the end of the year, and not only does that mean it's time for end of year lists, it also means it's time for Christmas. We're only like a week out from Christmas, and that means we are listening to Christmas music. And in these parts, that means we're listening to country Christmas music, because country and Christmas go together like Santa Claus and cookies. In fact, two of the biggest Christmas songs of all time are actually by country artists. That's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Gene Autry and Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. And then there are literally thousands of great Christmas country albums, and you've got all of the standards that have been covered by all your favorite stars. You got, Johnny Cash singing Little Drummer Boy, and Alan Jackson singing Holly Jolly Christmas, and even Texas artists like Wade Bowen singing All I Want for Christmas Is You. It would be impossible to try to cover all of the covers of Christmas songs that there are, but I wanted to do some kind of Christmas playlist this year of all of my favorite original country Christmas songs. And that's what today's video is. There are a lot of awesome country original Christmas songs. Hello, it's editor Grady from the future. This little patch right here on my shirt, I just want to say, this is not dandruff, this is lint. And it's not beardruff. I keep my beard nice and moisturized. I was just doing my laundry this video. There's a lot of lint happening, and it was bothering me while editing, so I thought I'd explain. For the purposes of this video, I decided to bucket them into 5 categories to make it a little easier to talk about. The first one I'm calling jolly/sentimental. These are ones that just make you feel merry and great about Christmas. The next one is melancholy, because hey, we're in the country genre here, we gotta have some sadness. Then we've got romantic, songs that make you want to be with a loved one. We've got religious, songs actually about baby Jesus. And then we've got a kind of catch-all category at the end that I'm just gonna call weird, because these are some strange songs. So, starting off in jolly/sentimental, it wouldn't be a country Christmas list without Christmas in Dixie by Alabama. Christmas in Dixie. This is a simple song just about enjoying Christmas in the South. There's snow on the pines, whether or not that happens very often in the South, and they're just happy to be there. Then we've got Country Christmas by Loretta Lynn. We'll have a good old country Christmas, all right. This is trademark Loretta Lynn with a plain spoken lyric just about what Christmas might look like at her house. People gathering around the tree, singing Silent Night, and enjoying Christmas in the country together. I also think it's funny and very Loretta Lynn that even though in this song she talks about decorating the tree, she has a whole other song called I Won't Decorate Your Christmas Tree for some no good man that she's not going to pay any mind. I won't decorate your Christmas tree this year. Another fun one is That Christmassy Feeling by Johnny Cash.
Sisters hanging mistletoe, it's goodwill to all men. I've got that Christmassy feeling again.
I like this one because you don't really associate Johnny Cash with happy songs all that much. His voice is so serious, but here he is just enjoying the Christmas spirit. Then there's Let It Be Christmas by Alan Jackson.
Let it be Christmas everywhere, in the hearts of all people.
Let It Be Christmas is a super sentimental song about Alan Jackson wishing for a happier, more peaceful, more joyous and reflective and inspired world. It's a little bit maudlin. It's a little bit like a beauty pageant answer of what do you want for this world? And they say, world peace. But it's freaking irresistible. And then to round out the jolly category, we got a pair of cookie-themed songs. We've got Christmas Cookies by George Strait.
I sure do like those Christmas cookies, sugar.
And Milk and Cookies by Clint Black.
I got a check now, I don't recall. Milk and cookies, milk and cookies.
These songs are pretty straightforward. They are about cookies at Christmas. And we all love cookies at Christmas until we resent them when we're at the gym on New Year's. And then going from the jolly category to the melancholy category, I want to start with 2 sort of transitional songs that have a little bit of both. First up is A Christmas Letter by Keith Whitley.
He signs his name to a letter he just wrote.
This is a song about a little boy writing a letter to the world asking everyone to get along. It might be like young Alan Jackson from Let It Be Christmas, just wishing for world peace. And then we have Kentucky Homemade Christmas by Kenny Rogers. This is an interesting song because it's both acknowledging poverty and acknowledging a poor upbringing in Kentucky and how the town doesn't have much, yet a really joyous celebration with what they do have. Even if they have to make the gifts themselves, well, they're still happy with what they have. Now moving fully into the melancholy section, I gotta start this one off with Roy Orbison's Pretty Paper.
Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue.
This song was actually written by Willie Nelson, and it's about a disabled street vendor that's selling wrapping paper and ribbon, but he's paralyzed and he's all out on the street alone, and all the shoppers are too busy rushing by him. And it's just this dichotomy of him facilitating all of the gifts being given to all the busy shoppers as they overlook him. People like country music because it's about real life. That's real life. And speaking of Pretty Paper, we got to talk about Casey Musgrave's Christmas Makes Me Cry.
Over Christmas, it always makes me cry.
This is one of Casey Musgrave's best songs, and it's just about the strange sadness that can fall upon us at the holidays. As you're seeing your parents get older, you're feeling the passage of time, and everything is so glossy and beautiful that it can kind of make you feel a little bit empty inside. And she name drops Pretty Paper. She says we're broken hearts, full of broken parts, just wrapped in pretty paper. Certainly we gotta talk about Dolly Parton's Hard Candy Christmas.
Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas.
This was originally written for the play The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, but when they made it into a movie, Dolly Parton sang it in the movie. It became a classic that finds Dolly saying, "It's not gonna be a pleasant holiday. I'm not feeling good," and kind of wondering about what's next for her. Speaking of making it through the holiday, we've got Merle Haggard's If We Make It Through December.
If we make it through December.
Now, if Dolly was trying to get through a breakup, Merle is trying to get through economic hard times. This is a song about unemployment and economic struggle and just hoping that this guy can hold it together through December. And then we've got It Won't Be the Same This Year by Vince Gill.
I'll fall apart when I pull in the driveway.
This is a song written by Vince Gill about losing his big brother and the real absence that is felt when you get around to Christmas and suddenly this one that you were so close to isn't there anymore. Anyone that's lost a loved one can relate to that. Now let's shift gears and move into the romantic section with a few songs just about feeling the love at Christmas time. And the first one, and probably the newest one on this list, is Glow by Brett Eldridge.
Good in the light of my Christmas tree. So good, you and the mistletoe.
I don't really know what the state of Brett Eldridge's career is as a regular mainstream country star, but this Christmas album he put out a few years ago seems to keep picking up steam each year. And certainly the title track is a fun one that feels jazzy, Frank Sinatra-ish, just about basking in the glow of someone else's love. Another sweet one is Gonna Wrap My Heart in Ribbons by Hank Thompson.
Gonna wrap my heart in ribbons and hang it on your Christmas tree.
This is a song from the 60s with a guy saying that he's gonna put his heart all wrapped up with a note that says I love you for a loved one and leave it on the Christmas tree. Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Randy Travis is another fun one.
Meet me under the mistletoe, midnight Christmas Eve.
Randy's just trying to get a little bit of late night action under the mistletoe. And then this one's kind of country adjacent, but it's Christmas Tonight by Dave Barnes and Hillary Scott from Lady Antebellum.
Baby, let's just light the fire.
What about the city?
I think this is basically like a better version of Baby It's Cold Outside. I think it's warm and sexy, and I know Dave Barnes is more of a pop soul singer, but Hillary Scott's in Lady Antebellum, and Dave Barnes does a lot of writing in the country world, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I think this song feels super romantic and kind of boozy and sexy. In the religious category, because, you know, Christmas is technically a holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus, the first song I will mention is Reba McEntire's The Angels Sang.
My little boy was a wise man this year.
This is a sort of silly song that has Reba McEntire as a mother that is watching her sons play at school, and he's dressed up as a wise man, and she is so moved by the angels singing and the Hallelujah chorus. If you can suspend reality and really imagine someone standing in an elementary school auditorium feeling the gloriousness of that holy night, well, then it's a really nice little song. Then we got Born on Christmas Day by Brad Paisley.
That little important baby, born on Christmas Day.
This song's interesting because Brad Paisley wrote it when he was a kid, and then the song was released as a duet with himself. As an adult, trading off verses with him as a kid singing about Jesus being born and him as an adult finishing off the song. It's interesting. And then we've got Faith Hill's A Baby Changes Everything.
How will she keep his trust?
baby changes everything.
This song is interesting, and I like that it shows off one of my favorite features in country songwriting, which is the evolving meaning of a chorus, where the same line means something different as the song goes on. Now, this takes the perspective of Jesus' mother, Mary, and as a teenager finding out she's pregnant. And so we start with this scared girl, and the chorus is, "A baby changes everything." But as the song goes on, and the baby is born, and the star of Bethlehem has arisen, then suddenly the term "a baby changes everything" has a whole different meaning. It's like, oh, this is the savior of the world. Then you add in Faith Hill's belting vocals and some references to Amazing Grace in the final verse, and you got a big old Christmas ballad. There's obviously a lot of other religious-themed country songs, but most of those are standards. There's stuff like "Oh Holy Night," and this is a video about originals. And let's jump into our final category, the one I'm just calling weird. The first one is "I'm Gonna Lasso Santa Claus" by Brenda Lee.
I'm gonna lasso Santa Claus, and I know just why, because...
Now, at the time this was released, it was released under Little Brenda Lee, and that makes sense because she was a kid, and this is very much a kid's perspective on Christmas. It's about a little suspicious cowgirl that wants to lasso Santa Claus, pull on his beard, make sure he's real, and figure out what's really going on at Christmas. Then we have "All I Want for Christmas Is a Real Good Tan" by Kenny Chesney.
All I want for Christmas is a real good tan.
This is the song you want from Kenny Chesney. This is our resident Jimmy Buffett doing his laid-back beach thing, just wanting to lay out in the sun on Christmas. And then we have a pair of reindeer anthems. The first one is super weird. I'm really into it. It's by Kitty Wells. It's called "Dasher with the Light Upon His Tail."
Dasher with the light upon his tail.
Now, this was a song released in 1962, chasing kind of the massive success of Gene Autry's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But this was just a different myth about a different reindeer with a different light. So if Rudolph was the sort of like light in the sky, then Dasher with the Light Upon His Tail is about how Dasher was meant to be Santa's sort of personal light on land. I guess it's not any more implausible than a light up red-nosed reindeer. In fact, it's more plausible in a way. But suffice it to say, it did not become the same level of a classic. And then we've got a different take on the reindeer tale, and this is "Leroy the Redneck Reindeer" by Joe Diffie.
And like it or not, Leroy's in charge, and he's gonna be leading you.
This is literally a song about a redneck reindeer in a John Deere hat that comes to help the reindeer take Santa through the sky. He's putting out rebel yells along with his jingle bells. He's two-stepping across the sky. But somehow the most implausible detail of this is that when Rudolph calls out sick and calls his little redneck cousin Leroy to come in and fill in for him, is that Leroy gets in his truck and drives to Santa, which... it's just a fun image. So those are the 25 Christmas country originals that I really enjoyed this year. I'm sure there are a million songs that I have left off this list, so let me know if there are other great country originals that you think should be on here. I know there's going to be a bunch. I've made a playlist with the ones that I've included in this video, but I'd love to hear your recommendations down in the comments below, and enjoy your holiday if you're on break. We got year-end stuff coming next week, and it's going to be fun.